Welcome to Vlogmas Day 11. We are going to talk today a little bit about menu planning and grocery list making and shopping. So I know that can be overwhelming to have so many things going on during the holiday season. And I had mentioned that I have already put a plan together for kind of like an appetizer Christmas kind of party inside our RV. I did that the other day and shared that with you, but I forgot to follow up with how I do my grocery list and kind of organize all that stuff. And I know that when you are in an RV and you've got some food and you don't want to like overbuy if you've got something like back in a corner that you didn't realize was there, and then all of a sudden you come in with like a whole nother like bag of sugar or bag of flour or whatever it is that you're buying, and you go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I had that. And space is so limited, so you just don't want to like overdo something if you don't have to. So today I want to talk about how I easily make a grocery list and don't overbuy. So I know that I shared with you my Christmas party menu the other day, and just in case you forgot what it is, it's basically an appetizer kind of party. So I'm doing some buffalo chicken dip, some party pinwheels, and deviled eggs. That's the food. And the sweets are white chocolate snack mix and fat bombs. And for the drinks, I'm doing sparkling water, some hot apple cider, hot cocoa, eggnog, beer, and wine. So that's the menu. So how I actually make that simple as far as grocery list making and shopping, I'm going to show you that today. So I'm going to take out all of those recipes that I have for the party. So I'm just going to do this for the party alone. I'm not going to do this for our entire trip. This is just going to be for the party today. And I take the list of recipes, I get them all gathered together, and then I have a blank sheet of paper that I divide up into kind of like 6 sections, and I lay it out sort of like the way that I walk through the grocery store. So I know that in most stores I'm walking through the produce department first. So I'm going to put my produce up here, and then after that it's usually kind of like breads and deli section. That's at least how most grocery stores are laid out. Then a canned goods section, and we've got a meat section. Our refrigerator section is kind of like in two spots in the main stores that I shop in here. So one is the refrigerator section that has like cheeses and stuff by the deli, and then there's a separate section which is dairy. So I'm going to go ahead and put refrigerator and freezer together. And I know what that is in my store. You might put your refrigerator and dairy section together, and that works too. If you know where you're shopping, you kind of know what you need. So then I take each individual recipe and I add it to this list. I don't try to figure out if I already have this stuff. I am making one overall grocery list, and then I am going to shop my pantry, fridge, and freezer first. And then if I have any of that stuff, it'll get crossed off the list. And then the stuff that's remaining is the stuff that I need to go shop for. So for fat bombs, I need coconut oil. Now, I know I only need a half a cup of that. So when I do that kind of thing, I will generally put like how much of something I need. So I know I need coconut oil, and that is a half a cup. The recipe calls for either natural peanut butter or almond butter, and so I usually have that on hand, and I'm pretty sure that I already have that, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and add it here anyway. Almond butter. The thing that's nice about this is I'm not getting up every time I think, oh, I think I might have that one, and coming back and forth, so that helps me to make this process a whole lot faster. And I need a half a cup of that. I need unsweetened baking chocolate, and that is sort of in my, that's like the baking section. So I just kind of group that with the canned, and I'll stick that at the bottom because I know that's a little different part of the store. So this is baking chocolate. I can read my own handwriting and you might not be able to read it, but trust me, I can read this. And this is just a 4-ounce bar. And then I need some agave or honey, and I am going to put that here, and I'm going to choose the agave because I like that better. And I only need 2 tablespoons of that. So I know it seems like a lot of work to actually add the the quantity of the ingredients, but it's helpful in the long run. Vanilla extract is sort of by baking. And I need 1 tablespoon of that and a pinch of sea salt. So I know I have salt, and unless I'm doing a recipe that calls for a lot of salt, like brining a turkey or something like that, I just kind of automatically know that I have salt. And that's it. So once this recipe is done and it's on my grocery list, I will check it off and set it aside. And I'm going to do that with every single recipe that's on the list. So I'm going to keep on going until I finish the entire list, and then we'll finish up in just a second. And you can see as I kind of am organizing the grocery list here, like I know that the pretzels and the peanuts are going to be sort of in the same area of the store. So I'm grouping that, and that will help me to get through the grocery store faster too. And white chocolate chips is over here by the baking aisle. And that is 22, it's 2 11-ounce packages. So I'm just going to put 22 ounces, and I'll figure it out in the store. They might have a bigger one that's like a better deal, and I'll buy that versus having 2 11-ounce packages. And then vegetable oil, and I will put vegetable oil on the list because I go through vegetable oil quite a bit because that's what we use to season our cast iron Dutch ovens and skillets and stuff like that. So I'm always in need of vegetable oil. So that is also near the baking section. And that's it on that one. So I'm going to make the check mark that it's on my grocery list and move on to my deviled eggs. So here, this is 6 eggs, and the eggs for my store are in the dairy section, so I'm going to put them here. Now, because I do a lot of things with like eggs and things that can grow in quantity, if another recipe in the stack actually requires eggs too, I don't want to keep adding eggs to the list. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hashtag how many eggs I need. I need 6. So right now I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So if another recipe calls for eggs, I'm going to just add to that number. And let's see, what do I need after that? Mayo, and that's kind of over here by this section, and that's a 1/4 cup. Same thing, condiments add up like that. So when you have several recipes, one that requires a 1/4 cup of mayo, another one that requires a whole cup of mayo, and it's hard to kind of like know exactly how big of a container of mayonnaise you actually need to buy. So it's easier to keep that running total of like how many of a certain thing that you need. Onion is another thing. I use a lot of onion and garlic. So here I only need 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to just go ahead and add that as 1 tablespoon of onion. And then just like with the condiments, I'm going to add it all up at the end and figure out how many onions I actually need to buy. Salt, I'm going to skip. Pepper, I'm going to skip because I know I always have that. Those are the 2 ingredients that I just kind of like always have plenty of on hand. And so I just skip adding that. And then if I want a little bit of garnish, I'll add a little paprika. And that's just a little sprinkle. So I'll add the word sprinkle. All right, next one. That one's down. Now I'm doing the party pinwheels. And that is the cream cheese, 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, and that is in my refrigerator section, not my dairy section. So this is, I'm just going to call this cream cheese. So it's always good just to put the thing first, cheese, cream cheese. See if I can write and talk at the same time. It's more complicated than it should be for me. Anyway, 2 8-ounce packages is a total of 16 ounces. All my spices, I'm going to make sure, because I always think that I have something and I end up realizing later after I start the recipe, oh, I don't have that. So I actually need to run back to the store to get garlic powder. So I'm going to add that here. So you can see I'm running out of, that was a kitty sneeze. You can see that I'm running out of space here in my little canned section, so I'm just going to kind of make a little list. And I know that paprika and spices and stuff aren't necessarily canned, but they're kind of in the same area in my store. So I'm going to add garlic powder, and I do use abbreviations that I understand myself, and I'm doing it myself and not sending Pete to the grocery store when he's calling me every 5 minutes going, what does this mean? So I can use my own shorthand if I only need to read it myself. I need green onions, and that's just 2 onions. And then flour tortillas are over here by bread. And I'm gonna make sure that I put that these are 12-inch flour tortilla, 12-inch. And I need 4 of those. And I'm going to make a note here because party pinwheels are super cute when they have colored tortillas with them. So like a spinach tortilla that's green instead of just like a plain white tortilla that's a flour tortilla. Those always look nice on a plate, especially when it's like the Christmas holiday. So if you can find tortillas that are like red and green and white, that's a fun combination to have on the plate. So I'm going to just say Christmas colors here. Whatever they have, and sometimes the ones that are sort of reddish are the ones that have sun-dried tomatoes in them, and they have a really nice flavor too, so it all works. Whatever they have on the shelf is what I'm getting. All right, and then cheese is back over here in my refrigerator section, and that is, I'm going to actually say shredded cheddar cheese. All right, that's the party pinwheels. For the drinks, hot apple cider recipe is 6 cups of cider. And I know that I find that at this time of year, I get the fresh stuff in the produce section. So it's apple cider here. And it's 6 cups. Cinnamon sticks are over here. That is 2 plus more for garnish. So, you know what? I like to put an extra cinnamon stick in each cup. It's kind of fun to like stir the cider with. And so I know that I will go through a lot more than just 2 that I'm actually simmering the cider in. So I know that I'm probably going to need probably about 8 or more of those. So I'm just going to put that down. The other thing that's really good about doing this is, you know how you have those spices that are in your pantry and you're like, wow, that's kind of old. Instead of doing that, this is a great way to make sure that you're using all of your stuff and you don't have some spice that's hidden in the back of your pantry and you just didn't even realize it was there. So it'll make you look through that. And also I have a tip, if you have the space and the ability, I highly recommend alphabetizing when you store your spices so that you can quickly see what you actually have and what you don't have. Those are the only recipes for drinks. So I also need to make sure that I have sparkling water, like drink aisle stuff. So that's sparkling water. And the hot apple cider I already did as a recipe. The hot cocoa, I know I have the mix already. It's a homemade mix, but I already have that. So I'm gonna include it here, hot cocoa mix. I make that with milk. I make it with whole milk. And I know that we probably won't maybe go through like about a half a gallon, but I don't ever wanna run short. So I'm gonna just say 1 gallon for that. And then we need some eggnog. And we like to top our eggnog with fresh nutmeg. So I'm going to get a fresh nutmeg. I have a little grater in the trailer. It stays in there. But if you've got some piece of equipment that you're going to need that you don't normally have, I would indicate that not necessarily on the grocery list, but I would put it like over here. So like if I didn't normally have a little grater for my nutmeg, I would add it here to make sure that I loaded that before we left for our trip. And then we need some beer and we need some wine. And that's it. That's the whole grocery list. just for the party, obviously. So I know that all of this produce stuff, I'm going to be not buying that today. It's too far in advance, and I don't want the stuff to go bad before the party. So I am going to deliberately put this on hold. So this is like, hold for now. But it's there and it's already organized. And so I know what I need to do when I go, like, a day or two before the party. And then I'm going to go shop my pantry for all the rest of this stuff. And I'll see what I have, and then I will see what is still to come. So I'm going to go do that right now. Okay, now here's the way that you make sure that you don't forget anything. So if you're bringing some things from home, or if you've already got them in your RV, and then you've got some more stuff that you need to go get at the store today because you want to do all of the shelf-stable stuff and the stuff that lasts a while, you want to do that, get that over with. So right before the really busy holiday time, you're only picking up a really short list of perishable items. And so I take a highlighter and then I go through everything that I just checked to see if I have at home. But I am going to be having to still load that from the house into the trailer right before we leave. So the coconut, that I already have that here. I've got the almond butter, the agave, I've got the mayo. I've got my sparkling water, my hot chocolate mix. I'm going to need to pick up some milk, some eggnog, beer, and wine. So everything that's highlighted, I just need to make sure that I load it from the house into the trailer. The other stuff that is not highlighted is what I'm going to go shop for today, because all of that stuff. Now, if I wanted to put something on hold, I would say, like, well, maybe it's a little too early to get the milk and the eggnog. So I probably will do the same thing here that I did with those two items. This will be a more last minute thing. The milk. I say milk. My husband says I say it wrong. It's milk. I say milk with an E. So I don't know. I guess it's like where it came from, but I guess I say it wrong. Beer and wine I can get now. So these two things, these two sections, I'm going to get like a day or two before the party. Everything that is not highlighted, that is not also on hold, that's what I'm going to go get today. And then all of the other stuff that's highlighted that's in the house, I'm going to go move that into the trailer. So now I have very minimal things to do right before the party. And actually, part of these things I'm going to start making because we are close enough to the party for those things that can last a long time, like the fat bombs and like the Chex Mix stuff. That stuff I can start to make now and just store it so that it's ready and it's all ready to go. So hopefully that helps you to make a quick, easy grocery list. And because we've organized it so well, when I go to the store and when you go to the store, you're going to be able to check this stuff off because you're going to be in one section and not having to run back and forth around the store because you put the things that are in the baking section, you put all those together and, that kind of thing. So that will save you that little extra time that you spent when you created your grocery list. That will help you in the long run when you actually go shopping and start packing your stuff into your trailer. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. And I am so excited about our countdown to Christmas and our VLOGMAS series. And don't forget, Jesus is the reason for the season. And I'll have some more tips for you. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.